Ever had a home inspection completely tank a deal?
Yes.
Same. So today we're going to go over what to ask for, what to look for, and what to really do when the inspection just makes the entire transaction messy.
Welcome to the Open Books Podcast, where we discuss all things real estate, helping you take the road less traveled to real estate success. I am alongside my co-host Brooke Massey and Casey Tudor, and I'm Curtis Haddock. It's good to be here today with you guys. Good morning.
Morning. I guess we switched.
Great
switched
morning.
Things up, huh?
Yeah.
Brooks first now.
Yeah, ladies first.
That's okay. I'm
I
okay with
did that
that.
on purpose.
I'm okay with that.
I wanted to catch you
I
off
need some
guard.
special attention.
Yeah.
I'm not producing as much as Casey is over here, so I need some love too.
Top producer. Actually, I'm ahead of you guys.
I know. No, we closed everything
I don't
out.
think you
But
are.
we're putting everything under contract right now.
I'm about to. I almost was about to write a $1.5 million offer yesterday.
That would have been dumb. You would have been at the top of the
I know.
leaderboard.
Oh my no! April would still be beating
That's
me.
true because she has over 3.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
3.4
That would have been funny though.
as of this morning.
That would have. Been
I noticed some
funny.
agents, it's like 3.4. Oh, I do that in a day. Well, good for you. So
They also have 17 people. You're just a one-man show
Yeah,
with your
that's
TC.
that's right.
Hey, but if you like today's content, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Nice one. Yeah.
All of it.
You guys. Okay, so I walked into. So we have our preferred, our trusted vendors, our trusted inspectors, and last week I got a house under contract, and the buyer said, "Oh no, we got our guy," and I was like,
You know
"Okay,
where this is going.
oh man." So, and it's from their parents' networking group, so they all pay to be a part of this networking
Okay,
group.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, look,
What do their parents do?
I completely. What's that?
It's not irrelevant. Never mind.
They own a mechanic shop.
Okay.
And he's a football coach and all this, so he's got like lots of experience and connections and networking. So cool guy. But so anyways, this guy comes out. I won't name him. Nice guy, but very dirty. Like because he's doing inspections, but he's not real presentable. His shirt's ripped up, and he's carrying one of those metal boxes around.
But so he's an expert. Yeah.
As soon as I saw that metal box, I'm like, oh no, we're in trouble
Yeah.
because he opens it up and it's all paper. And so he has no iPad or anything. So he's literally writing everything on these forms. And the whole time I'm like, this is going to suck for me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to make it about myself, but I'm also trying to make it about everyone in the deal. And he's just randomly texting pictures to my client. And then so that's what you were looking at on my computer that one day. You're like,
Yeah.
what is all that?
Yeah.
Those are individual pictures that I had to upload to my computer. I had to download from text, upload to my computer, convert to PDF so I could put in dot loop so I could then mark what the repairs were because he didn't. He just took a picture of it. So I had to go in and circle what was wrong. And then I had to match them. I had to put like pick one on it. And so then on the TRR, I had to put pick one. It took me forever.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It took me forever. And I told my client, I was
That's
like,
ridiculous.
I'm going to try not to be pissy here.
Yeah.
But I'm really frustrated. I said because, and I pulled up another inspection report from Sean. I'm like, this is a professional report. This is how it should be done in 2025. And she's like, oh yeah, that looks great. It's like, yeah, because it's like, here's the number, here's the problem, here's the picture. It's all together and it's all categorized from electrical to HVAC. It's all there.
And is it
Yeah.
red, yellow, or green?
and people who have experience are gonna do. That's how they're gonna do it. This guy doesn't. He probably will never get hired by agents because of
Right.
how he does it.
So he goes and pays to be in networking groups.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was my most recent experience. Not terrible experience, but not smooth and professional like I'm used to. It's a good reminder of when you have good people in your sphere and on your list, you just forget how much smoother they make it.
How is the deal closed?
No, but we're getting it closed, and of course
So-
they ask for everything on the report.
Yeah.
I don't know why we
Are
wouldn't.
you past the TRR though?
Yeah, we've agreed.
Okay.
Getting repairs going.
Well, I was gonna say is what is unknown at this point yet is what did he miss? Mm-hmm. You know, after they move in and things. You know.
Well,
And-
it's
and
a newer home, and he had a lot of stuff on it.
Okay.
So
Well,
he probably didn't miss anything,
Well,
but
that's
it's
good.
a good point.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, you don't know what you miss. And then was he smart enough, sounds like newer, was he smart enough to put those disclaimers in there?
No, I don't think he's newer. I think he's old, like
been
not
doing
with
it.
the times.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That
Okay.
kind of inspecting.
Okay. That makes sense. So at least you knew, at least it wasn't somebody who just didn't know what they were doing.
Right. Yeah, he was decent.
Yeah. That's the worst, is when they don't know what they're doing or they don't know how to talk to people. Mm-hmm. But was that setting the stage?
Yeah, I set the stage.
Nice.
Did you guys see it set?
It's pretty.
What are we talking about today, Casey?
Well, we're not talking about golf.
Dang it! I was really looking forward to talking
We're
about.
talking about home inspections,
Nice.
right?
Yeah, but can you lay out the outline of what we're going to talk about today?
No, because I didn't know that was my job. You guys, while I'm doing this, you guys go ahead, like, subscribe, and
Hey, how
comment.
about I'll do it for you?
Okay.
For those of you who are still listening, today we are going to talk about, obviously, home inspections. We want to talk about how to control the conversation in which you want to do that to protect the sale. Obviously, we want to get our deals to the closing table, but at the same time, you want to make sure you don't want to push a deal through to the closing if it's not going to be good for your buyer. You want to know how to spot a problematic inspector, which you know
As soon as
spotted
you walked
that.
in, I did.
Yeah, you spotted it right away. And there's
Just look
other
for that
other
mailbox.
things. and then finally we're going to do what to do when the report you get is essentially a deal breaker. You know, how do you make it not a deal breaker, or if it, how do you balance between, like, this is something that we should, continue to pursue and our clients shouldn't be scared of, versus, this is something that I wouldn't purchase. And you got to be careful too, because there's been times where, like, I wouldn't touch this, but the buyer's like, oh, I've handled that before. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, let's go forward with it. So you got to be careful to not put your own, expectations and emotions into it, because everyone's different. And
Yep.
so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing my job.
You're welcome.
I'll take like 30 less cents on the royalty from this episode 5 years from now.
We'll talk to the network.
We'll talk to the network.
Okay, well, so how to control the conversation and protect the sale. That starts with, I think it starts with before the
Us.
inspection even happens.
Yes. So yeah.
And you can talk about it from both the list side and the buy side.
Yep.
So where do you guys want to start?
Well, from the buyer side, I've always, at this point, your clients, no one's the same. For the most part, the clients love the home. Like, let's use that scenario.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Oh my God, we love it. This is exactly what we've been looking for. They see all the good and positive things about it. They've contracted or under contract. And then typically what then happens is, if you don't set the stage right, then they will go through inspections, and then they see that inspection, and all of a sudden, how could we have been duped into buying this piece of poop? It's like, this
Doo-doo.
is so bad. And it's because what we should do is, okay, now the inspections are at 2:00 today. Just a friendly reminder. The inspector, he will note the good things about the house. Be like, hey, I think the foundation's good. I think
It's not
a
going to be on the
well-built
report,
home.
though. I mean, really.
Right. But what he's actually doing, what you're paying him to do, is to find all the little problems, so that way you know what you're buying. And every home, even brand new construction, is going to have things that aren't perfect. And even then, sometimes the builder is not going to fix certain things, and it's just part of it. And so I think as long as you set that stage, it will help.
Yeah, well, so I when I set the stage for an inspection, I was thinking about this. It actually doesn't matter if I'm talking to a seller of mine or a buyer of mine. I'm setting the stage pretty much the exact same way. It's
Yeah.
just a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because again, at the end of the day, for what we do, and even in the states where there is, single party brokers, we still act as transaction brokers, and we represent the transaction. And so we're not looking out for one party's best interest over the other. And I think people get that confuse that all the time. And so it really doesn't matter who I'm talking to. It's a matter of, again, the perception. So I want to say that. So if we're talking on the buy side, to set the expectation, they're going to find a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Even
Right.
paint chips.
Yeah, their job, in order for them to feel like that they earned their income today, they want to have as much on that report as they possibly can find. What I want you to focus on, buyer, is we are trying to find things that are going to cause a major expense now or down the line that is not something that you are going to want to have to come up with or pay, or we should at least factor it into the price or the things that we ask for from the seller. And there's 5 major components of a house in general. I mean, there's a few things that we could add to it, but for the most part, they are
The roof,
speak up. Yeah, the roof,
Foundation.
foundation,
HVAC.
electrical.
and plumbing. Boom.
Maybe I wanted to say plumbing.
Too bad.
You
should
asked
have
us.
told us before we started.
Beat you. I wanted to say at least one.
Oh, okay. I'll
Those,
give it to
so
you.
the 5 major components, those are the big ones that are going to cause you to potentially spend a lot of money. And if you just don't want there to be a major problem with that stuff. I mean, there could be problems with those, and that doesn't mean that you just are automatically, this is a bad house.
Yeah.
But if the foundation is like really bad and you need like 20 plus piers, you might want to reconsider, what your goals are here.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe the leaking
Yeah.
toilet's not that bad.
Well, the roof is a good example because for our episode, so if an inspector gets up there and say the roof is 12 years old, but it's fine, nothing wrong with it, no leaks, shingles are still in good condition, it's just old. He comes back down there and he looks at the buyer and he goes, they go, how's the roof? He goes, it's old. It's old. What does that tell you? Run. Or they need a new roof.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah.
don't. Or he comes down and he says, hey, roof looks great, 12 years old.
There's a big difference in how an inspector communicates to your client.
Yeah, and that's what I
Yeah.
love about Sean with Inspect One is that's exactly how he communicates, because really from that comment on, that's my job now.
yes.
Yeah.
Like, hey, the seller's probably not going to replace a roof, that's totally fine, but what we need to do is call insurance and make sure everything's good to go on it.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
make sure that you'll be able to be covered,
Some,
and that they're not going to drop you because of the age and the depreciation factor.
Yep.
on the list side, something that I do, I usually start looking for stuff that at least I know and have knowledge from the experience now. But I'm usually looking at their HVAC and how old it is and asking them about the roof and looking for cracks in the foundation and trying to get ahead of some of those like major things as well.
Do
Like
you
at
have
the
them
listing
fix
appointment.
it? Do you have them fix it if you see anything?
No, we kind of talk about it and see where they've been at with it.
I think it
and
depends
so,
what it is for me.
Yeah, it really depends on what it is.
Because
Roofs-
covering up cracks is not like something you should go out and do, because an inspector is going to look at the door jambs and the strike plates, and he's going to know if things have been
Shifted.
patched and shifted and then patched. And so it's like, then the buyer might go, well, what are they trying to hide?
Sure.
So it's like those things could go kind of either way.
Yeah, no, I don't say patch it, but like if there's like an issue and it's clear, I'm like, have you had your foundation looked at?
I think it depends on whether it's going to have an impact on the sale and
Yes.
the value of the sale, because we just talked about how some people are fine with certain issues while others are not, and we don't know what buyer's going to come and purchase the house. But at the same time, like, sellers will do that when it comes to like blue walls and pink walls. Like, oh, well, they might have, might be a family of daughters. We don't know. So, we're going to keep the walls pink. And because what if they come, but you want to
Right.
appeal to the masses, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to just appeal to families with daughters. We want to get everybody. So
Yeah, no, it's
Same-
not. Oh, sorry.
what I was gonna say, same with the inspection to an extent, like, but if it's not going to have an impact on how the property is seen when they go look at it, or on the value, then I'm fine with waiting to see if it's something that they ask for. Because if you go and start fixing a bunch of stuff and you tell them to spend all this money, then
we already fixed a bunch of stuff. Why are they asking for more?
Right. Then they're going to say that, and because they're going to ask for something. What you could go fix all the major stuff and the house is great. Well, then they're going to feel like they have to ask for something whenever the inspection's here. So let's wait on some of those things so that because they're going to ask for it.
I have a seller right now. This is a perfect scenario. We actually just got under contract and we have inspections on Monday and we're a little scared because this house, it needs work. It was built in 1950 and it's a
What was it priced as if it needed work though?
Yeah, we did price it well. So hopefully this buyer did come in and they already asking. There's a big window. It's a $1,000 window, and so it has a huge crack in it. And so they wanted to get that repaired and a fence repaired already.
Like that because I have a listing coming up and they got a $9,000 window. That's
that's
gosh, not good. Yeah.
And like that's a big deal. Like that is like normally windows. I'm not.
That's a curb. That's a curb appeal thing too. Like that. That helps.
Yeah.
And so.
But. She also has a big plumbing repair right now. And so
what is it? What is the plumbing repair?
We don't know for sure. So it does have to get scoped.
That's the scary part if you don't know.
Yeah. And so the plumber came in and he said he's not sure. There may be some tree roots. He said, I won't know until someone scopes it. She was like, I don't have money for a scope. So I was like, that's fine. Like, let's just wait.
Can you
disclose it?
Is there an issue like when you turn the water on, it backs up or like?
Yeah, it's just slow. Essentially,
slow draining.
Yeah, slow draining.
It's probably tree roots from the 50s. There's probably plenty of trees back there.
Oh, and this property, it's like right. I've
Does she have
so
money
many
to fix it with equity?
Do what?
Does she have money in their equity to fix it?
She does.
Okay.
And that was like the biggest thing. And like the point of me bringing this up is like we set so many expectations with her and with everything when we went to list the house, obviously with the market, but also knowing that her house needs work and just needs repairs here and there. And she knew that as well. But we just set the expectations and really talked to her like, hey, the plumbing thing's probably going to come up. So let's put $10,000 to the side so that way we mentally have it, and we've been preparing her for some of this stuff. We don't know. We'll see what the buyers come up with. We had a really good conversation with the buyer's agent, and so and he sees that it needs some work, so we'll just see it at inspection.
If you can tell a really good story, you can a lot of times you get what you want. That's where Never Split the Difference, Chris Voss comes in, because I've had deals before where these one buyers, they wanted like $30,000 in repairs. Whew. And my client, you know how much my client offered them?
Probably $1,000.
$2,000. You know where my brain went? Oh God, we're done.
The deal is busting. Yeah.
Guess what? They took it because they wanted the house more than he wanted to sell it. That's how it works.
Yeah.
And sometimes the buyers don't want the house enough to take that deal, so they move on.
Yeah, and
but you don't know. You don't know who.
And that's a hard pill to swallow too. And that's like if a deal busts, like I'm also like, and I do tell my sellers this. I'm like, that if they're asking too much, an agent of mine, we just helping her on a Horatius TRR deal, and somebody wanted $20,000 of siding.
Sometimes it's the agent doesn't know how to set the expectation with the buyer.
But sometimes, like her seller in that situation, and I was like, God, like I know we want to keep the deal together, but at what point do we just say no? And it's just much better that way.
Yeah, I think seller expectations for me is move all your stuff out of the attic. You need to clear that out, and you need to get the stuff off the walls of the garage so they can look for termites, because that's where they are the most of the time. I would go ahead and change all your air filters and clean your condenser, because it always gets called out. And the last thing you want is someone that says you didn't maintenance your HVAC, and all of a sudden now they want you to replace it because you didn't maintain it.
And
all you have to do is hose off the condenser. And it is it's a window into how you live.
It just looks bad.
Well, and I mean, like for anybody, a buyer or seller, and my listing right now that I have, hers is all, because she has these huge trees, like it's built in 1950. Like these trees are huge. It's an awesome listing. Just needs some work, but man, it's just, just ugly to look at. And
Yeah,
an inspector goes and look at it, they're probably going to look extra hard or something.
Yeah, from a seller's perspective, you definitely want to prep a little bit for the inspection, but at the same time, I'm also setting
Don't
the same.
spend too much money.
Yeah, but prep is in like what Casey just talked about.
Yeah.
And like making things accessible and making it easy for them and making it look, like you've maintained it,
Yeah.
And then, but then you're setting the same expectation. Like, hey, listen, I don't know what kind of agent is on the other side if you haven't worked with them before, and what the buyer's expectations are. But I can tell you what my expectations are and how I prepare my buyers.
Yes.
And so all we need to care about are the major components. Like if they start coming and asking, because sellers are worried, like, what are they going to ask for? What are they going to ask for? Like we're going to have to fix all these little, there's my kid got some stuff on the wall. Now I have some touch up paint. Like that's going to be there. Like they just get worried about every little thing.
Or they say there's not a dang thing wrong with the house. And
or that
they're selling it as is and they're not going to make repairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or,
Just
or
let
that.
them know that.
Yeah. Or that.
Yeah.
It's
Just-
one or the other. But at the same time, I'm like, I always ask them when they're worried about it. I'm like, well, why haven't you fixed it? Like, how long has it been there? 3 years? Why haven't you fixed it? Well, because you've been fine living with it, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't realize this, like that they're fine living with most of this stuff. So guess what? I don't worry about the little tiny things.
No.
I only want to worry about the major problems that any buyer, if that comes in, is going to say that needs to be fixed. If back to the roof, if the roof is not insurable, then I don't think I have ever had a buyer, unless it was an investment property and they were accounting for the cash it was going to take to replace the roof, has ever bought a house that came back as uninsurable, that it needs to be replaced. I haven't had a single buyer that has gone through with a transaction like that. And so,
I have
and it wasn't an investor.
twice. I sold my keep your thought. I sold
I'm interested.
my father-in-law's house had a 40-year-old roof
I
on it.
remember that.
They obviously called for it to be replaced.
I remember that.
My father-in-law said, I'm not going to do it. And the buyer said, okay, no problem. Moved in. I've also
That was wild.
been a listing agent where a guy was buying a roof and the roof, it was totaled and it was going to need to be replaced, and it was going to take like 2 extra weeks. And we were even like, we could do it after closing, this and that. And my sellers were willing. And the buyer's like, nah, I don't have time for all that. Let's just get this house closed. Close on it with a totaled roof.
That's crazy.
And I asked the listing agent, I'm like, are you sure? Like you talked to him about this? Because
You asked the listing agent. You were
the buyer's agent. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Like, are you sure? Because like the last thing I want is this to come back on us. Even if we do everything right, like you don't want that phone call.
That's one of those things where you just have them send you an email or sign something at closing that says, I understand the roof needs to be replaced,
yeah.
and I'm still buying it. Because, well, anyways, you told me to keep my thought. I don't know if I did.
Okay.
But
Moved on.
but the point is like on that issue, it's very unlikely.
Right.
Very unlikely.
Yeah, you don't want to bet on that.
for a buyer to, and at this point, you've probably been involved in more deals than me now too.
And that was also when it was a seller's market too.
Sure. That can go into it. That can
Yeah.
go into it to an extent. Yeah, especially if it's multiple offers.
Guarantee
and-
that's not happening right now.
No. But I tell my sellers that's what we're looking for. And because if we say no to it and say we're gonna wait for the next buyer, I'm gonna tell you, if they're asking for something reasonable, and that even if you blow the deal up and we wait till the next buyer, that buyer is, what's the likelihood that the next buyer is also going to ask for it?
Yes.
And if it's unlikely that the buyer is going to ask for it, then okay, let's push back on it. But if every buyer that comes through here, there's a good chance like you're not selling this house without getting this problem fixed. That's what I'm focused on.
Right.
And then if there's a bunch of little other things, if I'm not, I try to just work it into closing costs if
Yeah.
I can.
That's always the easiest, and it's the best for everyone. Unless you get one of those sellers who
Or
cares where
agent.
every little dime goes, and they want to control it.
But that's when I tell them, like, well, then here's the money. You do it then.
Yeah.
Because guess what? We're going to Band-Aid it.
Right.
If I'm the seller, I'll even say that, hey, we're going to get it fixed, but I can't say that it's going to be with who you want it to be with, and we're going to find the cheapest person to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
You want a licensed professional?
get out.
Fine. We're going to get the cheapest licensed professional to do it.
Yeah.
Whether they're good or not, I don't care. But if they get the job done, that's all that I care about. So, and then if I'm dealing with a buyer, I say, guess what the sellers are going to do? They're going to find the cheapest possible route to get this done. They're not living there anymore. They want to Band-Aid it, get it done the way that it needs to pass your inspection, and they're going to move on, and then you're going to have to deal with the problem. So, why not just get those things fixed yourself and just get the cash flow if you can.
And a roof is the biggest thing. Like, if you're going to have a home inspection and your roof is bad, just go ahead and get it replaced before you list. It's like
it's a guarantee.
And what's so people don't realize how delicate a deal is, especially in this market where I had a buyer, we contracted on a home, and it was a for sale by owner, and the guy was nice, and he was actually pretty set up for what he was doing, and he my inspector said that the roof is total, hail all over it. And I could see from the ground, I could see all the granules had come off, and it was half the roof is shiny. The roof is so old and totaled. And the seller's like, he goes, hey, he's like, well, I've submitted this insurance. They said no. I said, well, we need to do it again because there's no way this is going to be insurable, and I cannot ever have a client call me after closing and say, dude, I got to put a new roof on this.
Oh yeah.
I said, I'm not going to allow it. And he's like,
or they're going to drop my insurance, and I don't.
Yeah, or they're going to drop his insurance. And so I had that conversation with my buyer. He's like, oh yeah, we got to have it replaced. And then the seller's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll give you a credit for this or for that, and then he can pitch in the rest. And then the very next day, my client sends me a house for $30,000 cheaper that was newer and nicer, and he goes, you know what? Let's just move on. And then the seller was like, hey, I'll replace it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll replace it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude,
too late now.
Too late. Like, it is that delicate and it's that sensitive. I always say this, like, if you're in this market right now and you're having a hard time selling your house and a buyer wants it, you say thank you.
Yeah.
You can have it. Thank you for purchasing my home.
Yeah.
But what I see now is like you get a showing and they're like, hey, we'll give you full price offer. This is the house we've been looking for. We've been on the market for 4 months. And they get another showing. They're like, oh, well, we don't see what that showing has to say in 2 days.
Yeah, right.
No,
right.
You take it and you say thank you.
Yes.
Obviously you can't force them into that, but that's the mindset that I have.
Because everyone wants a little bit more. There's, what if they wanted? We could be in a bidding war. They just overthink it, and they just. The what ifs and the what ifs.
And there's nothing you can do about it as a realtor because they have to touch that hot stove themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to be there to put the ointment on for them. So
I just want to start bringing a hot stove with me and some ointment then.
Yeah.
I would get a lot further quicker.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Touch this. All right. Let's move on.
Well, sometimes I do. I let people write low offers even though I know that they're going to lose to another one. And it's like, then they... Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll go.
Sometimes though, you don't have that luxury of getting to go through that experience until it's further down the line. How do you spot a problematic inspector? Carrying the silver box around.
That's it.
I think how they're dressed sometimes too, or or when it's like, how did we come to find this inspector?
Yeah.
Is this your cousin's son or whatever, right?
Well,
Like,
also,
it's a close friend, or
just the person in general, like just first
they-
impression. Like,
how they
are they
converse.
professional? They come shake your hand. Are they nice? What's their tone? What's their energy?
Are they dressed decent? Like, and I know they're crawling under
they
the house,
smell
and I know
good?
they're in
I'm
the
just
attic,
kidding.
but like, no, it does matter because you could be in a $400,000 or $500,000 house, and these buyers are they're on edge a little bit,
Yeah.
and they're a little worried, and then you got some smelly guy coming in that's wearing a baggy t-shirt and it's all dirty. And I get it, he's doing home inspections, but still,
Yeah, but that doesn't happen unless the actual buyers are the ones who picked them. It's usually a problematic inspector when they are in control of who comes out.
Yeah.
And someone can come in super dirty, but also come in with a good, positive attitude, all professional. And hey, I'm here to do a home inspection for you today. And that
Yeah.
sets the stage.
Sorry, I'm
for-
dirty. I just left an attic.
Yeah, 100%. Be like, all right, like this is a 4,000 square foot house. There's 2 units. I mean, they don't say all that stuff, but they could just come in professional and confident, and they'll be like, sweet. And now they feel good and confident. They're inspecting stuff, or as he's whatever.
If they're dirty from doing another inspection and stuff, that's different than like what I'm thinking is someone coming in like sloppy, like, and then how they approach and talk to you is like you're just like, oh great, like, okay, how experienced is this person? Is this going to be a good inspection? And you kind of have to go ahead and kind of like prepare yourself, for what is to come, And I will, like, any time that inspector has a conversation with the buyers, if I feel like it's someone like that, I want to be there to intervene and to know what is being said, how is it being said.
Yes.
So that way, I'm not a pro. I'm not an inspector. So someone could come in and scare the heck out of my buyers, and I don't know for sure if is that something that we should be scared about or not. But what I can do is take that information, and I can now go call the professionals that I know and say, hey, this person says this. What's the reality of the situation? And then that can it's super important.
The consumer's issue is they don't. Most of the time they don't know anything. They don't know about repairs or what it takes. And so it's like they might look at something and be like, oh, that's bad. And then the contractor's like, that's a $50 fix.
Right.
Yes.
I could do that in 30 seconds.
Yeah, or you know what? That happens, and just watch it over the time, and if it stays like this, you're good. Right. But if it starts to move or something happens and it just gets worse, then we'll call somebody out.
Yeah.
But this is just a monitor situation.
Yeah, I think the most extreme version I can think of, like what to spot for a home inspector that's bad is they're like, Terry, you got to come check this out. I found something. And then your buyers are like,
huh? Yeah.
It's over. It's so over.
Yeah. So, when they start calling your buyers over here, hey, come look at this.
I did have, oh man, I had a termite inspector one time call some guy who's training over there in the middle of the home inspection. He's like, hey man, come over here and check this out. And he puts a flashlight on the wall. He goes, what do you think that is? And he's like, termites? He goes, nah man, that's a booger.
Oh my god!
And it was in a kid's room. I was dying.
Oh, that's funny.
Kid is like, I mean, is this a trick question? It's like, no, that's a booger.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, dude.
Training at its finest. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, well.
I was gonna say I got another funny story for inspectors too. I think it was Aaron, or I can't remember. No one cares. Aaron and Tyler. So Tyler's getting trained by Aaron on pest inspections. And we're standing there and we're looking at this wasp nest. And so he comes over, he goes, I got to show you this. And so he pops that flashlight up on the nest. And as Tyler comes up, and I'm standing in between them, and he comes up to me and he stands there. And as soon as he pops that flashlight up on that wasp nest, the whole nest dive bombs Tyler and stings him like 15 times in the face. Yeah, his face was like all like swollen up.
Wait, so the light was sensitive?
We don't know why they attacked him. It's like they didn't like the way he looked. He might have had a cologne on.
Yeah, because I'm thinking I'm sure Aaron points the light at a nest all the time. You know? And nothing happens.
Right. Something about Tyler they did not appreciate.
They're like, some Tyler.
Yeah. So that was terrifying.
Did he have to go get treated? Did he swell up or anything?
Oh yeah, he swelled up. Yeah.
Oh man, all over his face.
I went back inside, dude. I'm not hanging out out there.
No, heck no.
Heck no.
Yeah. He didn't last long. He doesn't work there anymore.
He doesn't? Oh yeah.
That's traumatizing. You almost get stung once, let alone 15 times in the face.
Personality wise, I would be a great home inspector, especially what I know about houses and construction.
Yeah, totally.
Or pest I could totally do that job, but I would never do that job because of the bugs.
Bugs in the crawl spaces.
I respect bugs. I know they have their purpose, but why are you flying at me? When
Yes.
I'm not doing anything to you, and you're in my space. Not cool.
I can see Casey's in home inspector is like, okay, I need you to come out and do a home inspection. When was it built? 1955. No, I'm not doing that
Yeah,
one.
it's like there's a disclaimer. I couldn't get on the roof because there's a tiny little wasp nest up there.
Yeah. And I know
Get
what
a
those things
professional
can
out
do.
here.
Yeah. Okay, well let's keep moving on and we've kind of talked about some of this, but let's say you've set the expectations, we've had the conversations,
And now it's a crap situation. You got to replace the roof, the foundation.
Well, that or the situation where I think Brooke, you talked about this, where you have somebody who sends in 50 items on the inspection report, and none of it is actually like a major item. How do we deal with those situations?
Give you $1,000. Leave me alone.
Yeah. But buyer didn't want it. Buyer didn't want $1,000.
They want all of it.
They want all of it
Or
done.
they're walking.
They're walking. Well, I mean, it depends on the situation. But first of all, I would hope that I wouldn't allow one of my buyers to do that. And you can only control things so much.
Well, and sometimes it's like, you know what? I'll ask for the house cleaning. We'll just add it on there.
Yeah,
at the
we'll
end.
ask and we'll see. Let's see what they say, and then you just know. And I should set the expectation. They're probably not going to do it, but let's ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll ask for you.
And then it come back. Hey, well, I was right. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, and you got to be careful. And I always tell my clients, you got to be careful because if you're going to send 30 items over, 50 items over, and one might be tighten the outlet, and
By
it's
a
like
licensed electrician.
What sucks about that though is that's a safety item, so it's red on the report, so they're terrified. All you do is go boop, and it's tightened.
Well, and they put by a licensed electrician on the TRR and the inspection report sometimes.
But here's what they do. They'll go, okay, well, I'll tighten the outlet, and then I'll do these small things, but everything else I'm not messing with.
I'm just going to do the tiny
because
things.
they took the path of least resistance, which is what everyone's going to do. So I tell my clients, I would ask for the things that we really want.
It's a great point.
And you may not get it, but you got more of a shot at getting the things you want if you ask for them, and we sell that story of
and we're reasonable.
These are the concerns. We feel like we're being reasonable. Yep. We narrowed this down from 50 items. This is all. Mm-hmm. And I have so much success with that conversation. I've been getting TRRs just signed back. Here you go. We'll do it all.
Yep.
So,
and it makes it so much easier than the back and forth. So much easier. But you're in a situation, Casey, where let's say that you are just asking for the major things, but let's say you're in a situation where your buyer wants to walk, but there's a few major things on there. And there's a good chance that you could convince the seller to do it, but your buyer wants to walk. I mean, how would you handle that situation?
I would tell them hey, I'm here for you guys, whatever you feel like you need to do. But if we stick around this price point and this age of home, the next report's going to look probably awfully similar to this.
Yeah.
And in my experience, when I'm dealing with clients who are backing out of homes, and it's been sometimes 2, 3, 4 homes before they find the one, the first one was always the best home, because what happened was they were excited, they found the home they wanted, they backed out, and then as time goes on, they start settling. Mm-hmm. And then fine, let's just take this house. You know what? We won't even ask for repairs. We're tired of it.
Yeah.
And it's man, you guys could have got a really nice home 3 months ago, but now we're here. So that's, and then if they still want to walk, fine. And then
if I get someone that wants to walk, I will even say something similar. I'll say, there's a good chance that this stuff is going to come up on even the next house that we go find, and again in the price point that you're looking, and the age that you're looking. Now it's not guaranteed that these few major things are going to come up, but what I'll do is I'll say, look, I by no means want to talk you into getting something that could be a money pit.
Right.
But what I want to do is let's do our due diligence, and let's get a professional to go over this with us, so they can tell us, hey, would you buy this house if XYZ was fixed and repaired or replaced or whatever? Foundation can be a big one that scares a lot of people. And where we live, it's like, what I say, it's just a matter of time before you have some shifting. Now, whether that shifting in the ground causes actual damage to your home or not is the question.
Yeah.
But I always say, look, if you're in an area where the soil is likely to shift, like, consider yourself lucky that someone else is now paying for
they're taking
care of it, right? And they're stabilizing your foundation, and you now don't have to worry about that, most likely, right? But you're at least getting it taken care of. And when people do the foundation repairs, it's as good as new.
Yeah.
And a lot of
And it's
you can't avoid foundation. We live in Oklahoma. We have. Clients have to understand that.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to. There are areas that are more susceptible
Sure.
to shifting, but for the most part, it's like, man, we're not going to get around it.
Yeah. Like, how long do you plan on living in the house that you guys are buying? And sometimes they say that they're going to live there for a
forever.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's usually the case. Oh, we're going to be here for a while. That's the plan anyways. Okay, great. Well, then would you want to go find a house that hasn't had any foundation issues, and then in a few years down the line you have to pay to fix it, or go ahead and say, you know what,
That's
let's
good
have
one.
somebody else pay it right now, and now we're done with it, right?
Sure.
Doesn't mean it won't happen again or that it won't shift again or whatever, but once the ground like really settles, I mean, it's settled. It doesn't move very
A
much.
lot of times the
Sometimes
house will
there's-
settle and sit where it wants.
Yes.
Unless there's like a major drought
Or something, a lot of element changes, water comes in, or
the
whatever.
hard part with home inspections and what we're talking about today is the fact that someone has this dream of having a dream home, and it all starts on Zillow.
Yeah.
And they're looking through the pictures and they're super excited and in love. And as the process unfolds, it gets grosser as time goes on because of all those things, and it slowly kills that dream for people.
Sure, yeah.
That's what makes the process hard.
And I just try to get a professional involved in it. And if that professional tells me I wouldn't touch it, then okay, let's move on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To me, the deal breakers are, hey, there's water in the storm shelter, but we don't know why. Well, that's a problem. If you can have contractors come out and they don't know why there's water in the storm shelter,
That's actually a very common thing
I
here.
know, and it's concerning.
It's really not. I mean,
If you can fix it.
Well, we have that, and we can't fix it, and it's not anything major. Like it's the type of it could depend on the type of shelter that you have in the ground.
Yeah.
Some of those like shelters that they were putting in, they were cheap. They were built cheap, and there's actually companies that refuse to put them in now because it caused a lot of water to come into
I don't like it.
the shelter. I know it's one of those things that sounds scary, but if you actually,
I mean, you're not living in there.
But if you don't know about I'll tell you this. We're not able to use that shelter.
Yeah.
That's the only concerning part about it, is that there's always moisture in the ground,
Yeah.
and those shelters they crack so easy. Some of the ones they put in, that it's easy for, because we even identified where the water was coming in several times, but it comes in somewhere else the next time. And some of those shelters, they're just susceptible to water getting into them. But for a home, someone who's never actually dealt with it, like, they're like, that's scary.
Yeah.
And you want it, and if you live in Oklahoma, you want to have a shelter. We're about to fill it in and just put it above ground.
That's a good call.
Because I'm just tired of having to pump it every year.
Yeah, and you got the space for it too, which is nice.
It's just
the other one is, whenever you have a house that's been remodeled or flipped, and then the inspector comes in and just finds literally finds all this stuff wrong with it, but he can only find what he can see. So it's like, man, they did such a bad job on this flip on the exterior, just what you can see. No telling what
makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder. Like, so that's a hard one, because that's how you can end up with a money pit. I got a guy right now that I'm about to kind of wholesale this deal. Well, really just find the buyer off market, but he's got so many problems with his sewer line. The whole house has to be tore up, the whole floor. And he bought the house 10 years ago. He didn't. And I said, did you do a sewer scrub? And he goes, no, I bought it from a family member. And I said, but there weren't any problems, were there? He's like, no, not then. And I said, now you are. Now the line is just crumbling. And so his whole bathroom is jacked up with like a 5-foot hole
Ugh.
It's crazy looking. But, anyway, that's why you do sewer scopes. I'm on now. I want every buyer to do a sewer scope because I've had in the past where I go to resell someone's house. We didn't do a sewer scope. And then we find a $5,000 problem that was pretty clear that had been there
for a while.
And I've heard a home inspector find a 2x4 in a sewer line before.
Dang.
Because it got stuck in the
construction
in the PVC,
or something.
I think someone put it in there on purpose.
Got mad or something.
Yeah, they put it in there. They sealed up the PVC pipe and moved on with their day.
That's messed up.
Yeah,
Totally.
And so you think, oh, it's a brand new house. What could be wrong? Well, you could have a 2x4 in there.
Yeah.
Or tons of construction debris that just ends up
Yeah,
blows
yes,
down in there.
because they're messy.
And the builder is going to fix that.
Yeah.
So why not
Yeah, they got
spend
nail guns.
$200?
Scope. Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. I had my last buyer's scope this sewer also just to be sure.
Yep.
I'm nervous on our sewer scope on my listing.
I'm always nervous with sewer scopes, man.
We're like, Jennifer messaged me and she's like, "Do you see the email? He's also getting a sewer scope." I was like, "Yep, guess we're about to find out what it is."
Yep.
Good thing we budgeted for it.
Well, Brooke, you want to recap us?
Oh yeah, all the things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, we just went over like how to control the conversation and protect the sale. So make sure you're setting expectations on both sides. It looks very similar on both sides, as Curtis pointed out. So make sure you're doing that. Spot out a problematic inspector. Casey did some. Just know you have to do a little bit of extra work every once in a while, right, Casey? But make sure you step in and help litigate some of that if you have a problem inspector, someone has bad energy, whatever. And then what to do in the thing is a deal breaker. We really didn't talk about that very much.
What's that?
That was the last thing we did. Yeah,
we're
we talked
talking
about
deal
it.
breakers.
Yeah, well, just have good conversations and I don't know what to recap on that one, but
That's great.
I think we talked about it a lot.
just know when you should and shouldn't walk away, and
What to
try
ask for.
But try to also not have your buyers walk away for something that it could be fixed or be likely to be found on the next one.
And what
as
I
well.
said
Yeah.
was go talk to a professional.
Yeah.
Go get the professionals of that.
Oh.
That's what I was gonna say.
Don't talk to too many professionals.
Well, no, what I was going to say is Ricky Cruz said the other day, he goes, when you get a listing and that buyer says, I won't take a penny
I just
less.
sent
You saw that?
I just sent it to one of my clients.
I
Yeah.
won't take a penny less than $1 million for this house.
Yeah.
Immediately go write an offer for $900,000 and say
And they take it.
and tell me what your seller says.
Yeah.
And then 9 out of 10 times they're going to
They're going to take a penny less.
they're going to take a penny. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're
That's
gonna
a lot
cut
of
it out.
pennies.
The reason is because real money talks.
Yes.
Yes.
Everything before then is just hypothetical.
Yep.
Of
Yep.
course you want what you're asking.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yep. Yep.
Well, same with all the home inspections. If you go talk to that professional and he says, "Oh, that repair is only going to be $100." Well, now that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But in your mind, it's the unknowns.
Yeah.
So you got to get all that stuff.
Gotta
figured
get.
out.
That's what I'm saying. Go, talk to a professional. Get the actual numbers. We're just emotional beings, and we need to go get the facts before we make decisions.
And
Yeah.
sometimes don't get too many professionals involved because I think a lot of people like to shop
Well,
around.
just get your trusted person.
Yes.
If you
you actually trust them, it'll work out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have a trusted partner in that area, then go talk to them.
Yeah,
Right.
because sometimes you get someone that says 20,000 and someone else that says 5, and then how do you have that conversation?
Well, then,
you know?
then you got to navigate that.
Yeah.
You got to maybe get a third opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe meet in the
Be
middle,
like
figure it out.
ABC. We'll go with the 8,000 one.
Or do what I
Well,
or do what I do. Say, no,
if
you're getting $2,000.
if that happens, then there's obviously like the first thing I do if I get something like that. Compare the quote. What materials are being used?
Yes.
What is going into these quotes? And then if it's apples to apples, okay, and one is 20,000 and one is 5,000, okay. Now I'm gonna go and try to get references for this $5,000 quote. I'm gonna go look at reviews. I'm gonna go see if there's other clients that we could find that have used them. Any other agents that have used them.
Yeah.
And if I can't find that, then
Or do they charge more once they get out there?
yeah,
They can see
then
it?
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Ask questions. But if I can find, if they're reputable and they're quality, and I can find people that have used them, then Yeah, let's go with that.
Or
one.
is that peer
Well-
is that peer company that's selling 20 peers to this house? Oh, they do that on every house. That's not even a legitimate.
Yeah, right.
I
The,
meant-
the 20,000 one could be like they're just overselling it, you know.
Right.
But that's what you do. That happens.
What about then? What if one professional says it's a $20,000 repair and somebody else says, no, it's just fine?
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing.
Well, you can't compare that. One says it's fine, and the other one says you need $20,000.
That- I mean,
Well,
that's foundation. That's foundation at
get
its
an engineer.
finest.
Get an
Yeah.
engineer.
Or get an engineer. Yeah.
If someone says 20,000 and someone says no, it's fine, again, I want to know the reputation of the companies of each company, and if the 20,000 one is reputable, then and that's concern, then it's worth spending the $500 to just get an engineer out there,
Yeah.
and the engineer tells me what it is.
Yeah.
You
This
know?
is why it's worth hiring a good agent, because they can save you $20,000.
Yes.
Like, for real though.
no.
Yeah.
Well,
and you're balking at paying me $6,000 to sell your house, and I just saved you 20.
the deal that I helped my agent through, I was like, just bust the deal. And now her seller's actually is going to net some money. Before he was netting nothing. So,
Well, there's your recap, Brooke.
good recap.
Curtis did my my job, and then I just did yours.
Okay, so
It
you want to
just
do your
proves-
job too?
Yeah, I'll do.
did it. I helped
We
too,
did it.
Casey.
Yeah. I'm just tired.
Yeah. Okay, you want to do the outro then?
No, I don't even remember
Okay.
that.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for listening. As we come to an end, I just want to say thank you. Please like, subscribe, click the bell for future notifications, and make sure you hire a good agent that has a good home inspector. That's all I got to really say.
Easy peasy.
Signing off. Casey Tudor, Curtis Haddock, Brooke
Massey.